All right. Oh, I'm in a good crop. Thank God. Okay. All right, guys. I'm doing this new thing. I'm setting up before the live stream, but people have expectations. The live stream's at 5 o'clock. This is I'm 20 minutes early. So again, if you're watching this later and you don't want to watch me set up or do all this stuff trying to figure things out, then just go right to the 20-minute mark, and then you'll see me go, okay, here's the live stream. But this is an opportunity for people to be involved and to, you don't have to. Hi, Rachel. You want to say hi to everybody? Come on. Come on, pretty girl. Maybe Rachel will come in. We'll see. But I'm doing setup, and it gives people an opportunity. They get to see that the live stream's going and they join it. Again, if it's too much for you, then just come back at the 20-minute mark. I'll set my my stopwatch off at the mark at 5 o'clock because I'm keeping all my live streams at 1 hour now, so I don't go too long. As you know, I can. Rachel, you want to come over here? Come on, come on.
You put your blacks in my white laundry.
Sorry. Come here. Come here. Ray, they love seeing you. No? Ray, come on. Don't be getting camera shy. There you go. She's coming. Come over here. This is a good time. If you go down here, they can see you. There's Rachel. All right, you're gonna start getting on the videos, right?
I have a busy schedule, long itinerary meeting.
Dude, talk right in here so they can hear you.
Meeting congressmen, actually.
I know, but I
met Cisco Monty.
I called your agent, and we cut a deal, so you have to like come in the videos now.
Oh, he's calling.
Oh yeah, 17. I remember being 17 back in the day. All right, so putting the glasses on again. All right, so I think we're set. What's the one thing I got to do? I got to put I'm fast charging my phone. What I was doing, this should be good, is I'm answering posts like a madman. And it's taking longer and longer, which is a good thing. And the haters are coming out too. So that means that the algorithms are starting to kick in and more people are aware that we're online. So I'm kind of like President Trump, If it's bad news, at least people are knowing you're back. So maybe some of the people that like you, that want to watch your videos will come up. Thank you for this note. She wants to remain, hidden. So I've got a great support person. I've got the great support people that are keeping me motivated and praying and giving me feedback. I just learned something new. Maybe you know what? Maybe I'll do a shout out if I can figure out where I was. Yeah, Kira. I was just talking to Kira, and she's giving me some tips on X. We're going to, of course, look into it because it's one source. But if it works, of course, we're going to do it. And I don't know if Mario's on yet or not, but can you guys actually text me right now? Can somebody text me so I know that we're coming through? Again, this is all like 20 minutes of casualness, and then I'm going to be on point when it comes to 5 o'clock. So if you go away and come back, I understand. And if you're watching this for the first time and it's already been posted, just go to the 20-minute mark. Okay, I've said that enough. All right. I cracked Kira up, apparently. Can you guys, maybe you guys can't post when it's live. No, you should be able to post. Somebody say something, will you, please? Anybody? Bueller? Exciting things are happening, and people that recognize that we're in this together, and thank you. I haven't set up the other phone so I can look at it. Epic Stream, is that what I saw? Was it? Oh man, how do I? Gosh darn it. Missouri. Hey, Rhonda. Arizona, which is kind of weird. I'm still adjusting to be in Arizona, but we'll see. We'll see if July comes and I'm able to go back to DC. If not, I'll just keep reporting the truth from here. Hopefully I can. A lot of people liked me in DC because I interview everybody. Okay. I keep forgetting that when I go for the other phone, I've got to do the, there it is. See? There it is. Oh, it's an Obama ad. They've got I did have a Trumpinator ad, which I got a big kick out of. President Trump. I love President Trump selling things. One, because I know it gets on everybody's nerves. Not everybody's, but the people that hate him. They're like, oh, and he's talking about, oh, get a bobblehead and give it to your dad, and he'll put it in the garage. I just love his voice when he's selling stuff, because he is, in my opinion, the ultimate marketer. He is really, okay, there you go. And also Tucker. God bless Tucker. Oh, I came up with an idea. Tell me what you think. Roger Stone has a book out that's like I can't look at it right now. LGBT, the guy that took over after Kennedy got shot. What was the president? LGB? You guys can let me know. He's got a book out that I just think is so cool. Oh, got to adjust the crop. Got to take out the Windex. And that right there is in paying homage to Ronald Reagan, because he always had a bunch of jelly beans. I've got a bunch of good and plenty. Okay. It's the art director. I forgot a light. All right, I'm going to go without a light and tell me if it's better. Because I think I'm too bright. Am I right? Am I too bright? Epic Stream. Oh, sorry, I'm going to yell. Epic Stream Green River Views. Thank you. I like your name, Green River Views. That's cool. Goon Mobile post what? I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you're talking to somebody else. Oh, I just got to the bottom. Rhonda, looks good. Thank you, Rhonda. Lyndon B. Johnson. There you go. Who said that? Beverly. Good job, Beverly. Yeah, Lyndon B. Johnson. Roger did a book on it, and he's like, who really killed JFK? And I believe it to be true, because he laughed when he was on the plane as his casket, JFK, his casket was being put on the plane, and the blood was all over his wife, Jackie O, and he's in the background yucking it up because he's about to be president. So that kind of got on my nerves. And I saw it, and I was like, things that make you go, All right, bringing it in a little bit. Got to mark the floor. You wouldn't believe how many tripods I got around me and everything. So the sound's good. The mic's working finally. We went through drama with that right before Roger Stone's interview. I had to make him wait 15 minutes to get on, and I was apologizing to him because we did 2 interviews. One of them I did with Pastor Arthur, who's been persecuted in Canada, mostly about the jab and them not letting him do services. So he's been an advocate for, getting rid of Trudeau, which, we all agree with. Trudeau's a mess, a hot mess, what he's doing to Canada. Got a lot of love from Canada about that. Those posts that I put up on the community page, I don't know if you saw them, but they're Justin Trudeau. Got to get rid of Trudeau. Got to remove Trudeau. I don't remember. You can see it in the community page later. And I'm advocating for the I'm not good with his name, as you know. I'm not good with names, but the conservative that's going against him. He does these one-word answers, and he's really smart. I'm definitely advocating for him to get Trudeau out. Now, I know it's Canada, but we love everybody, and we want freedom to reign. So if we got somebody that's just going after us to stop us from being able to speak, we got to go up against them. We got to activate people. And also, I got to give Mike Lindell credit on CPAC. He's talking about action steps instead of just crying about stuff going on. That's what's important, is we set up action steps. So we're not just sitting there going, la, 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 oh, isn't it terrible? No, we have to activate, motivate people to protest. Why can't we protest, right? And get out there for President Trump. And it's never been more important that he that he gets elected. Ugh, it's so important. I'm very concerned about the legal migration that the Democrats and Soros is actually, he's got groups that are helping people go from the southern border of Mexico, Venezuela and stuff, and come up. And then we've got all those people from China that are military age. I did an interview with Jamie Walden. He talked about a base being on the border, the southern border. I'm going to do another interview with him. A lot of people requested, they wanted more from him. So I contacted Jamie, said, can we do it again? And Thursday we're going to shoot the interview, and probably, I'll probably have it up Monday so I can set it up as a premiere, give about a couple of days for people to come. It's not necessarily time sensitive, but it is because, he's talking basically about World War III in 2025, which, if that's true, we might as well enjoy ourselves now, if you know what I mean. Anyway. Beverly, who was responsible for taking away the voice of the pastors, threatening to take away their tax-exempt status if they got involved in politics? That was Obama. Obama was going after the tax-exempt status, because I remember I was going to church and everybody was freaking out about it. And Barry was trying to stop the churches from speaking. Oh, there you go. I can adjust the light. I got to get these earpieces, Mario. All right, that's as good as it's going to get. We'll let it be a highlight. Are you two leaving? You are? You don't want to stay here and be an audience? No? You could applaud in the background. No. Please don't applaud. I appreciate it. My daughter thinks I'm a little crazy, but she's supportive. She's supportive, which I appreciate. So anyway, that was Obama that was trying to stop the tax-exempt status of the churches. But he was also using the IRS to weaponize the IRS to go after conservatives. I mean, he was just flat out doing it. There was no theory about that. It was obvious he was doing it. And isn't Biden doing that with the IRS? Isn't he actually adding officers to the IRS while Hunter is not paying his taxes? He's weaponizing the IRS again. Things make you go, definitely Obama's in control. A little more applause. Oh, no. Thank you very much. Thank you. Be good, the two of you. We will. Yeah, so let me see what's going on. Yeah, I have teenagers all around me. Look out. I don't know anybody else out here except I'm doing videos. I'm answering posts. Bye.
My father.
Her friend called me father. It's cute. But all I'm doing, I truly believe, what time is it? Okay, we got 7 more minutes. I truly believe that God has me isolated, kind of. I mean, I'm not isolated like I was before, but I don't know anybody here. I know nobody in Casa Grande, Arizona. And I haven't known anybody because I was going through that horrible, the depression I've mentioned many times. Again, if anybody wants to know about that, on the playlist right now at the moment, it says a message from MustangMedic. I'm going to put depression in the front of it, so it's easy to find the playlist. If you want to see me crying and not editing the video, I had such a hard time keeping it together. I still get emotional. I'm in touch with my feminine side. All right. Let's see if I can answer anything before we start. All right, 7 minutes. Oh yeah, the fence, Green River, the fences came down, barriers in DC. Are they still there? No. They came down. Is somebody saying that? If they are, don't call them out. I'm trying not to go. I'm not calling out people specifically. I'm simply stating the truth, and everybody else can fill in the blanks who's not saying the truth. I just want to say that. The barriers came down it took about a month. So February? Mid-February, I believe that the fences came down. And what's interesting about those fences, because I was watching them dismantle it, is they do that overnight. They start like at 11:30 at night while it's dark and most people are asleep, and the town it's still relatively, nobody's in DC for the most part. Ever since the jab, they got to work at home and they want to stay at home. Go figure. Of course they do. And they're still doing it to this day. At least they're not pushing the masks. I'm convinced the masks were only pushed because they wanted to see who was believing the message and who wasn't, because that was totally a dead giveaway, right? But the fences came down, and they come down overnight. They start at 11 o'clock, and they're done by like 4. So the fences go up, and then they disappear. That's what happened. Because I saw it, I was videoing it. I went back to the place we were living. I think that was still at the hotel. And I came out that morning, and they were gone. So it would have been very easy to set those fences up before January 6th. Nancy, you know, we know what you did. We know what you did. She demonized more than 65 million deplorables, aka MAGA people. Why is it wrong to think, you know, that make America great again? That's a problem. It's not racist. It's simply bringing us back to loving our country, to being unified. So they are good at what they do. You got to give them that. I mean, Nancy, how long has she been in there? And what's really shocking, and I can see why people want to be senators and Congress people. One, Congress people can lie. It's protecting the executive. It's protecting the Congress from the executive branch and having the president kick them out because they don't agree. So they can legally lie. That's why Adam Schiff is still there, Shifty Shift. And the senators and Congress people can buy stock. It's not insider trading when they do it. And Lord knows they know what's going on, right? They're setting up the bills and the restrictions on businesses. They know what stock's going to drop. They know what stock's going to go. I think Nancy Pelosi makes a little over $200,000 a year from the government. By the way, President Trump never took a dime while he was doing it. He's the only president that's lost money while in office. You know what I mean? More proof that President Trump's for real. You know, the media knows he's for real. That's why they want to stop him. But so Nancy was making like 200 grand plus. She's worth like $900 million. I mean, you can Google it. It's 700 million or it's 900 million. It's a lot of money, you know, and her husband's cruising around. I think didn't he get a DUI recently? But of course they want to begin. Look at the amount of money they're making. You know, sometimes I'm surprised like Feinstein stayed as long as she did. She could have chilled, you know. It's either dedication or she owed some people some money. Endorsing a candidate. What are we at? All right, 4 minutes. Now a lot of the viewers on this channel don't like it when I got a quick text that I do Trump, Vivek, 2024. I like him. I haven't seen, he's a billionaire. He's almost a billionaire, which, you know, Trump's a billionaire, right? President Trump's a billionaire. You know, we like him. You know, we don't have to demonize Vivek for that. You know, hang on, let me set my watch real quick. We got 3 minutes left, 4 minutes left. I'm going to I'm putting a stopwatch on myself now so I can keep going. All right, there it is. Oh, it turns off automatically. I'm trying to save the battery. But I like Vivek. I think I like him. I everything he's saying, of course, is what I want to hear, which again, that's President Trump says everything I want to hear. So again, I think it's credibility and the way he approaches people, the way he doesn't set up his questions, like Biden's like got 3 people that are going to ask questions and he has to read off a teleprompter the answer. And, you know, he's like reading the teleprompter. And then I took off my glasses. You know, he's, you know, Biden. Yeah, we got a war in Ukraine and we've got a war in Israel and Gaza. That wasn't happening while President Trump was in office. Beverly, maybe so, but Lyndon B. Johnson that got a bill passed that silenced the pastors that they couldn't endorse candidates. That wouldn't surprise me. I haven't heard that before. Greeting, Bongo Bud Connor. Greetings from the shore of Lake Ontario, Oswego, New York. That's cool. Must be nice being near a lake. A big one, probably. Bongo Bud. I just read that. Hang on, I don't think. Okay. Vivek will work, but as with any politician, got to keep an eye on him. Oh, that's what I'm going to talk about. In 3 minutes, that's what I'm talking about with CPAC. Which, of course, is going to get me in trouble because I'm not going, everybody at CPAC is the greatest person in the world because they're there talking to us. No, that's not the way it is. There's rhinos everywhere. The enemy is from within. 2 minutes. Actually, I talk like this all the time, don't I? Come to think of it. I've got to get contacts. I know you've been very nice. You guys have been very nice about saying I look fine with the glasses, but there's nothing that says old age than doing this. You know what I mean? You don't do that when you're young. Your eyes start fading. I did get LASIK, but it wore off. It is nice being in a lake. I know. I had a canoe and everything. I lived near a lake in South Jersey for a while. I loved it. I used to take the kids out on the boat. Sounds good, guys? I'm about to go on. You know how to communicate with me. 4 emoji thumbs up if the sound's good. 4 emojis if the sound's bad. I think it's good because I can hear it pretty good. 4:59. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. That's my sound effects. Laura, God blessings to everyone. Yes. It's all about Jesus because we are I'm not going to say we're in end times, but it's getting dicey. 1 minute. I should do like when we do premieres, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll do my own. Okay, remember, when you guys are giving me yes or no, it's 4 of them, because then I can spot it. Because sometimes I think somebody's just giving another person thumbs up. The 4 thumbs up is obviously yes. The 4 thumbs down is obviously no. $40, $39. I'm gonna turn my watch on so it's on all the time when I do these things. A lot of setup has to happen for this. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the live stream. We've already got started setting up, and what's happening is that I'll start like 15 to 20 minutes early and do setup, and if you care enough, you can come and visit and watch. And I always say in the beginning of the videos, just go right to the 20-minute mark, so you don't have to watch. If you don't want to watch me doing this, and you're just get to the point, you can just go right to the 20-minute mark. And we're here at the 20-minute mark. So what we're going to talk about is CPAC. And I'm going to answer a lot of questions. It's going to be 1 hour. All the live streams are going to be 1 hour now. So I don't go long because I can. And I was watching some CPAC interviews, and it inspired me to do a video or start editing a video. It's probably going to come out on Sunday. A lot of people, a lot of news organizations and a lot of people that do these kind of things, they don't post on the weekends because they classically get a low amount of views. But for me, it's important to communicate because almost everything's happening so fast. It's like every day you wake up and something's trending or there's some story about something, and most of them are not true. But I believe that with the activity, with you guys, sharing, the sharing is the big part. That's key. I'm finding that out on X, which is very active right now. We got 3,500 people when we had 500 like 4 days ago. So you can imagine how many people I've been answering posts to. Fortunately, my daughter loans me her, she's got these fancy earbuds, so I can do voice to text and answer them really quick. I just got to make sure I'm not messing it up. But CPAC, I'm seeing people that are pandering. And by pandering, if you know pandering, it's like saying things that people want to hear, so you get applause. Sorry. You get applause. And I'm very sensitive to it right now. I'm really watching people as they present themselves and whether they're real or not. And don't get me wrong, I've been fooled. I've been fooled with people that I thought were real and found out they're not. And again, I'm not going to say names, but the panderers that are doing this are selling themselves, and I don't believe they're real. So I'm watching these CPAC things. I'm not going to call out people by name. But there's Congress people getting interviewed, of course. And I'm going to chop up one of them a little bit because one of the Congress people talk about the illegal immigration and how they're trying to control it and all this stuff. But they're not saying it's intentional by the Democrats for votes. They just they casually mention that he's going to get more votes because they're going to side with Biden, of course, because, the Democrats have put out a welcome mat. Come on over. And the people that are coming are getting there. They're getting their social security numbers so they can vote within like 4 to 5 months. And there's people that have, whistleblowers that have told me about this, and it totally rang true for me. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what they're doing. Again, I said this in the last live stream. It's like, 44 million people are illegal right now. The ones that have been illegal are getting, like in 2 months, they're getting social security numbers now all of a sudden. It's really easy. And the ones that are crossing the border, which we're all seeing the videos of these caravans and all these people coming through, of course they are. I would come across too. That's what, 8.5 million so far? I think they're doing 12,000 to 15,000 a day. Do the math. We got a lot of days left before the election. We can't stop it because the Biden administration is in control. So it's an outright cultural change to our country. And if you saw what's happened in the UK, I don't know if you're in the UK watching this, the immigration that's coming across is completely changing their culture because they don't assimilate to the culture that they're in. They want to bring their culture with them. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with cultures, but the fact that there could be some really radicalized people coming in, that's one of the concerns. But there are communities, especially people in like urban communities and around the cities, a lot of black people that are there are dealing, white people too, but you can see a lot of black people going, no, we are, this is out of control because most of them are sanctuary cities. They're Democrat controlled. And everybody's like, oh, we got to get government funding. But straight up, sure, they're asking for government funding, but they're all in on it. They're all in on it. They know what's going on. And I think there's some Republicans that know what's going on, but they're not calling it out, which, that's the definition of a rhino Republican. Republican in name only. Republican in name only. So with CPAC, yeah, it's, don't get me wrong. It's great to be around a bunch of people that think the way you think. I went to one Trump rally and one Trump event where he was visiting a place that was making masks or something. It was right in the beginning of the jab. And that's what we have to talk about. Excuse me. I've had this persistent cough for a long time. I got it checked. I've had the virus 3 times, and I guess my body's in good shape because it's kind of like the flu. I got a lot of congestion, some cold sweats that were unusual. I got tested. It was true. I got it. But I got through it. It wasn't, they wanted to make it sound like so much more. So what do you think about the CPAC people? Is there anybody that's got a tilt that you got a tilt on? And we have to be much more careful about the enemy within because it's key right now with these upcoming elections. It really only radical change is going to happen is we have the executive branch, President Trump, we have the Senate, and we have Congress, Republican controlled, because the Democrats will always vote whatever Nancy says or Schumer says. They say, do this, and they go, yes, sir, we'll do that. Because they care more about staying in power and getting supported by the higher ups in the Democratic Party than they do about the people in their own constituents. It can't be more obvious than what's happening right now. All right, let me look and see what you guys are saying. Roger Taylor, I wish I could share the list. I just got it today, and it's a really great thing coming. Is there some place I can send it to you so you can share it? Well, I'll look at it. I'm not going to say I'm going to share it. I got it. Again, it's very important, and I'll tell you how to get in touch with me. It's very important that you can back it up with facts because there's so much we're doing with stories right now that we're looking up that are basically in the queue. A queue meaning a list going through, that it takes a lot of research to do these stories because I don't want to do a correction video. I'm very proud to say I've only had to do one so far. And I think we've got almost 60 days now of doing a video every day. I'm working hard. To find the truth. But intel at realmustangmedic.com. I'll repeat it. Intel, INTEL, at realmustangmedic.com. That's the new one because official Mustang Medic went away and Mustang Medic went away. They keep registering them. If I let them go, they go and register them and try to extort money out of me. Who's going to get Mustang Medic as a domain name? Because it's always going to come back to me. I've been doing this for 13 years, 7,500 videos on restoring Ford Mustangs, and then now political since January 6th. All right. So Intel at MustangMedic.com is the way. Hopefully I'm not blowing your ears out on that when I'm coughing. I'm trying not to. Oh, by the way, this cup is my daughter's. You know, she buys everything pink. She bought a pink toolkit, so I got a pink hammer. You know, 17-year-old girl. God bless her heart. I love her. And I love Sarah and Will. I've got 3 kids. All right. Infinity blessed. The Constitution clearly lays out what we, the people, can do, but why is no one doing what we have a right to do? Because people are assuming that somebody else is going to do it for them. And they don't want to get involved out of fear of being canceled, especially in a full-time job. Because if they put it online, they can lose their jobs, because we're dealing with that kind of pressure right now. It's fear tactics. We have to go against the fear. We have to do stuff like we're doing, and we have to talk to friends about the importance of this election. They'll roll their eyes. They'll think you drank the Kool-Aid, MAGA, so-called insurrectionists. No, it was a rally with a bunch of operatives in there. I mean, the FBI admit to one, but they won't admit to how many. Things that make you go, saying a lot today. So we can't sit on our butts this election. A number of people did in the last election, even though I believe there's a lot more than 56 million people voted for President Trump. And I know 81 million people didn't vote for Biden. It's just, it's just like so obvious. I almost think that they're kind of like laughing, the ones that put him in there, just to like, they're trying to disenfranchise us so we give up. We can't give up. Vivek said that Biden is not going to be the Democratic candidate. I believe it. And Roger Stone believes it. If you saw the interview, haven't seen the interview, it's a great interview. It deserves a lot more views than it's getting right now. Oh, Lord. This is going to be my coughing video. But it's kind of scary what I'm about to share with you. If you haven't seen the Roger Stone interview yet, I recommend you see it. Roger's like very transparent. He's a great guy, very supportive. And I'm actually talking to him often, like almost like every other 3 days or something, or 3 days. I actually asked him, I said, Roger, if I'm getting on your nerves, if I'm sharing too much with you, let me know. And he told me it's fine. I think it's pretty cool. I'm not going to blow him up, fire hose him, as Jamie Walden says. But Roger Stone's prediction, and he said it in other interviews, I don't know if you've seen it, but he predicts in our interview that Michelle Obama is going to be put in last minute. Yes, Michelle Obama. I know you're like kind of freaking out. I'm freaking out about it. And I'm concerned about all the, illegal immigrants that are getting Social Security numbers to vote, because there's got to be millions and millions of them, at least 10 million, I think. I mean, again, that's a theory. I don't have facts behind that, but I know the numbers are coming in, and I know that they are giving them Social Security numbers. They're going to vote. Do you think they're going to vote for Trump when President Trump is saying, I'm going to get the biggest deportation ever with all these ICE agents? We're all like, yeah. But can you imagine coming across the border illegally, getting a Social Security number, calling your family members saying, come on up. Just they're letting us in. Again, I shared this before, and maybe some of you haven't seen it, but I did a video series on crisis at the border. It's a playlist. Oh, I just remembered I forgot to tag the other. I got to tag Mario. Make a note, will you? Which one was I think you made a note last live stream. I've got to put the one I promised on the other live stream. This one I'm going to promise to put the Crisis at the Border playlist at the end of this live stream. But we went to McAllen, Texas, which I consider the tip of the spear, because McAllen, Texas is the point. It's the most southern point of Texas, that comes down. McAllen, Texas, is right there at the point, at the bottom of Texas, most southern point. So they're surrounded by Mexico, because it's a point. And they're taking buses. They look like school buses. They're painted white. They have tinted windows. And they're driving in no man's land. No man's land, some of you don't know what it is. I'll explain it. No man's land is between the fences. No man's land. So Mexico has a fence that's kind of rickety and stuff. They can get through that easy. Our fence was stopped by the Biden administration. We know why. Because they need the votes. They've been on it since day one. They stopped the fence that was going up. So there's gates that have like 300 feet one way, 300 feet the other way, and then the wall stops, and they've got a gate that the Border Patrol's standing there, by the gate that's open. The buses are going in. They're letting them in. They're signaling them in. I didn't see the driver who's driving the bus, but the bus went in, tinted windows, and drove around. I didn't see where they were, came back, and came out. And I videoed it. It's on video. I asked the Border Patrol agent, who was very nice. Maybe it was the cowboy hat. I don't know. He was very welcoming to us. We didn't put him on video because he didn't want to be on video. And out of respect, I'm not going to sit there and do a sneak video on him or anything. He's giving us information. But he said they're going and picking him up in no man's land. At that time, I was like, no man's land? And he explained it to me. So they're literally, it doesn't matter. They don't even need to get to our fence or part of our fence that's left. They're going and picking them up and busing them in to McAllen. They've got white tents with tarp that's hanging closed off so you can't see in there. I was able to sneak around, and I did get a video going through a tarp that was kind of open, and you could see lots of people, lots of Spanish people inside these tents. And then they literally get in a line after they're processed, whatever they're doing, and they're processing them. They get in a line, and I call them Metroliners, the big buses, like the Greyhound buses, the old Greyhound buses. And they're sending them to the cities. And in Texas, they were sending them to liberal cities that didn't want them in, but they want us to keep the porous border open because they don't care about people along the southern border. And we all enjoyed that, that they were sending them there, but they're still getting processed and going up there. So they're not being deported. They're being sent to our cities. Denver is an absolute nightmare. Denver, Colorado, just filled with them. Them meaning people that are struggling, that are getting there, that we don't know their backgrounds. It's not a racist thing. It's come in legally. Come in legally. AOL was like, AOL? Acosta, what is her name? Not AOL. You guys can tell me. Oh, there's a lot going on with text. But AOC came to me. Brain's still working. AOC is like, don't they deserve to come in because they're struggling? And she got to they explained, the person they were interviewing got to explain that it's illegal. It's illegal to come in without being processed. Imagine being a person that's trying to do it legally, has to go to court, and is doing everything legal and watching what's happening. Can you imagine? So they bring them in, they process them, they ship them up, and they are filling the sanctuary cities. The people that are there and in the sanctuary cities are crying out. A lot of Democrats are being converted because they're seeing what's happening to their cities and the policies the Democrats are doing. So there's a great awakening with people in urban cities. A lot of them are predominantly black, and the black vote is usually like 95% for the Democrat. They've classically, let me know if you're a person that's black, is it true? It's usually like 85 to 95% voting for Democrat. But I think that people are being awakened. Not only black people, but white people that are living in these cities are going, wait a minute, these Democrats are not helping us. They are just going after the votes. They could care less that they're filling up the auditoriums, that they're putting them in tents. In New York, they're putting them in luxury hotels that are getting completely trashed because people don't respect it because it's free. When you have to earn something and you're working really hard, then you actually appreciate what you have. But if you're just going in, they're busing you in, and you're hanging out with I don't know how many people are in the rooms, but they're trashing the rooms. No respect. And then they're getting government funded for their food, their shelter. And then if they move into a permanent place, the government's paying for it. they're earning cash. They're not using the money for the government's not monitoring where these illegal immigrants are spending their money. So they're just taking their money and using it. They're getting driver's license and they're prepared to vote. So I'm really concerned. I mean, it's great that, we're all like, oh, this is so ridiculous. Of course, President Trump's going to get elected. Nah, it's not, of course. And I don't even want to think about it. I do not want to report that story of whoever gets in. Michelle Obama is a threat because the Democrats they just pick a Democrat. And then if we go to a woman and she's black, they're definitely pandering for the black vote. And the black vote's very powerful, very active. I've got a number of friends that are not the same color as me that have been opened up and understand what's going on. And it's a real threat. And it makes sense. And the Democrats, they might be evil. They're definitely I'm going to say most, not all. That's the Jesse Lee Peterson. He always says not all. If you have never seen Jesse Lee Peterson, check him out on YouTube. Look him up. He's great. And they might vote just because it's Michelle Obama. You know what I mean? Obama still has a following, even with the stuff we see, because the people that like Obama are watching mainstream media, MSNBC, CNN, and it's an echo chamber against anything Republican and what they're trying to do with now how they're trying to spin it with President Trump not liking the immigration bill. That Republicans fell in line because it was true. They were giving them a pass. I'm going to put that detailed video up tomorrow talking about that. And they could do it again. They could steal it again. I mean, unfortunately, we can talk about this on YouTube now, but it was restricted for 2 years after the election that you would be taken down if you're questioning the election. And about 7 months ago, I got to take decongestants before I do these videos. Lost my train of thought. Senior moment. I'll come back to it when it pops in my mind. Let me look at what you guys are talking about. Carl Stewart, the JFK Jr. still alive. I need proof. I'm always asking for proof. I don't want people's opinions. I want actual proof because I don't want to be distracted by something that doesn't have proof. So I appreciate you being here, and I want you to talk, and I don't want you Carl, to go away. But if you're going to make a statement like that on a post, I need you to back it up. I need you to send an email to intel@MustangMedic.com, at realMustangMedic.com. Don't be hating on me because I'm questioning it, but I'm always going to question something I can't prove until I can prove it. If I can prove it, I'll report it. So that would be an awesome story to actually say he's alive. That would be groundbreaking, but people have been talking about it like he's going to come back every week or something like that since January 6th, and it hasn't happened. So I'm starting, you know what I mean. Roger Taylor, a bunch of trophies. Thank you, Roger. I should get an air purifier. Green Reviews. Yeah, somebody actually said that to me. I think Mario said that to me. I got to deal with that. I was convinced that it was Mario because every time I talked to him on the phone, I would cough. And I don't cough when I'm not talking to him, but I'm coughing now and I'm not talking to him. Military ops are covert. Carl, okay. Military ops are covert. We agree on that. There's proof on that. There's a lot of stuff that's come to light that was a military op that we didn't know about. And there's still a lot of freelance people like BlackRock and everything that are doing missions that the Army and the Air Force can't do. They're throwing shade on stuff they want to do with the CIA and the FBI, mostly CIA. But they are true. But you got to be careful about the people that are telling you things. And when it doesn't come true, or they say to you, the plan was to not do it, but talk about doing it, it's most likely they're doing it for clicks to keep people engaged. I, like Anons, am a person that is seeking the truth. So Anons like the fact that I'm always looking for the truth because I know Anons are looking for the truth. Where I differ is I will tell you if something's true, but I'm not going to sit there and say, well, we don't know about this, but I'll call it a theory outright. This is a theory, meaning I don't have proof of it, but I'm not going to sit there and tell you that this is definitely happening. Watch this, because those people that are doing that, if it's not coming true and they're telling you it's definitely going to happen, if you look at it with a critical eye, you're going to recognize that it's not true. So why am I watching this person that keeps giving me reports that something's going to happen, or they report for sure it's going to happen in a week, and then when it doesn't happen, they say, well, it's part of the plan. Things that make you go, okay. So I'm not against Anons. We are all looking for the same information. I don't want to upset anybody, but I do want to keep it truthful because I don't like doing correction videos. Okay. Shannon, I think so too, Roger. Started watching Mustang from those white buses 3 years ago. So glad he's back. I'm doing third person. I'm usually listening. Don't like to type. Okay. Well, thank you for typing, Sharon, since you don't like to type. Yeah, it's kind of neat because there's people that are that know me for the buses, January 20th, 2021. So a lot of love came my way when I was back. Again, Joe Rambo shared that on X, and it just set off a firestorm of people finding out about that I'm back. Because again, there's a lot of people that unfortunately that do this, that think it's a competition, and they don't want to share to their large audiences that I'm back. Why not? And if half your audience hates me, it's okay. That's okay. I'll take the hits. Anybody that's got a political point of view, any direction, there's going to be radicalized people because of the algorithms that are going on online. If you hate yellow rabbits, you'll see videos of hating yellow rabbits. Why? Because they want the advertisers, they want people to watch, and typically people don't like to hear something that they don't believe. They don't like to hear something that their structured belief system, it threatens it. So if they're threatened by the information that's coming in because it doesn't fit their narrative that they want to believe, they get very angry at the messenger. I call it kill the messenger, like they're doing with the whistleblower on Biden for the 5 million. And he might have said something that was dishonest or something, but it doesn't discount everything he said. It doesn't. Again, the media's throwing, putting up shade to protect the Bidens, and it's an absolutely disgusting thing. We're all witnessing it, and the truth shall prevail. Hopefully, we'll be alive when it happens. Not that I'm saying, like Jamie said, like World War III is going to happen. He's very convinced it's going to happen, which is kind of like puts chills up your spine. But the truth will always come out. I'm actually answering posts from 2.5 years ago because I was gone for 2.5 years. So now I answer all the posts that are new. On X and on YouTube and all the other accounts. I mean, the ones that are really old, though, are the ones that are mostly on YouTube because it's a new X account. So I'll answer all the posts, and if I got time, I'll actually talk to people that posted something 2.5 years ago. I explained to them, sorry, it took me 2.5 years to answer your post, but I'm back. I hope you're well. And most of the things that they were telling me and they were angry with me about that was going to happen in 2 weeks was 2.5 years ago. So I'm like, do you believe me now? Do you believe me now that I was telling the truth back in 2021 when I was on the ground reporting stuff? It's the greatest thing because, 2.5 years is sure a long time to wait for something you believe was going to happen in a week. So it's kind of hard to argue that. But there's still people that hold on to that belief system, don't want to, even though I'm showing them that it was true 2.5 years ago, what I said, they're like, I don't accept that. I don't accept that. No. Again, if you're sending an email to intel@realmustangmedic.com, I have to keep repeating it because there's no title like I do in most of the videos. Back it up with facts. So I've got a direct link that I can see it and it's convincing. I don't really want to hear from a link to somebody that's saying it one source, 3 sources, 4 sources. If they don't have anything that backs it up, they're just supporting each other in the echo chamber to the people that are watching them. I can't use that because I'm not going to sit there and just go, well, this person said it, so it must be true. Not I, not at MustangMedic. I take some hits for it, but in time, like I do with the videos, when there's something going on and there's a lot of people saying it, I'll interject into one of the new videos and I'll say, this is not the cabal taking over the country when the phones go out. There's things that are going on. It could be a solar flare, but it's not a takeover, which a lot of people were saying. And again, they're doing it so a lot of people engage. So they get views, so they make money, and they do. It's not easy. It's not easy being straight up honest on this, because I'm a marketing person. If I wanted to, I could be feeding a lot of stuff to people that want to hear something, and I could be making a lot of money. So the people that are like, you're doing it for the money. No. Yes, I'd like to make enough money to be able to do this full time. At this moment, I think I'm making like 50 cents an hour, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. God's saying, trust me, I'll do it. Although there's times where I'm like, what am I doing these videos? This is not going to support my daughter and I. My daughter's going to go to the Air Force. She's saying Air Force. I love it. I love it. That's my influence because I wanted to be in the Air Force and I got talked out of it by a liberal guidance counselor that said I'm too tall to fly. So I was like, okay, I can't fly. I guess I'll be an art director. But I would have loved to have been a veteran right now. And I've got a great deal of respect for every veteran. And if I recognize that a person's a veteran, sometimes I can recognize them just by them walking around without a hat that says they're a veteran. You can tell America's greatest generation, the baby boomers, everybody that was born up until 64 is a baby boomer. I'm the last year. And I was born in August of 64. Woo. So as a Mustang guy, many of you don't know this. If you're not into Mustangs, most of you aren't. But my audience used to be 97% men, 3% female. And then after I went political, I went 65% female. Typical audience is 45 to 75 plus, 65% women. And I think it's because I believe that women are just in tune with what's going on more so than men. Men are kind of like, I'm doing my job. I don't want to deal with politics. Just leave me alone. I'm making enough money. But a lot of people are starting to recognize there's going to be no money made if it all goes down. So we have to look at things. Wow. Is it 34 minutes already? Man, I could talk. Can I? Let me see what questions are going on. Angela's like, heck yeah. I am had 4 or 5 O's. Angela, or were they sticks? I love sticks, meaning manual transmission. They actually came out with an electric car. It's got a manual. Isn't that strange? But it would be cool. I mean, if I was driving an electric car, I'd want it to be a fake manual. Let me know if you guys got questions. I'm looking. I know it's a 12-second delay, but I'll answer a question, put capital questions on there. Eventually, when we start to get larger, I'm going to have to just look at the super chats like I did in the past when I was getting a lot of videos. So just a heads up on that. A 5-speed, the only way. Angela, you're pretty cool. Very cool. When I was young, I'd always want to date a woman that's got a stick. Angela, you had a bullet? Guys, a bullet is a custom Mustang that imitates the you can correct me, Angela, if I'm wrong. I think it's a 1966. It was a bullet. It's a fastback Mustang, dark green. I actually stood next to the real bullet in SEMA in Vegas. I literally touched the car by accident, and they got really upset with me. I was just like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get too close. I'm videoing everything. But a bullet is from the movie Bullitt, Bullitt, I believe. And it was Steve McQueen, and I don't remember the other two. It was a Charger, and they were racing through the streets of San Francisco, beating the heck out of the cars. And there were like 3 bullets. One rusted out as a flower pot in Mexico. One disappeared for a while and then showed up, and that was the car for the actual movie shots. And then the one that got beaten to heck during the movie. I don't know what happened to that one. Only one showed up, and the other one that's rotting as a flower pot in Mexico. So there's a little Mustang trivia for you. And then Carroll Shelby took over and made some really cool GT500s and GT350s. I know my Mustang history. World's Fair is when it was launched, close to my birthday. All right. Any questions? We'll get off the Mustang thing. Any questions about what's going on in the current environment? Because with CPAC, I've watched only a few videos. I really do see people pandering. I don't like it. And I'm thinking that we got some rhinos in there. And it doesn't matter if you're going kumbaya, President Trump, I've supported him all my life. If you're pandering, then we know what you're doing, and we don't need any more rhinos. I got you on Mustangs. Now you guys are all talking about Mustangs. Why is the GT350 called why is it called a GT350? Okay, all right, you're challenging me. I can give you the trivia on that. And I actually said this to a couple Secret Service agents that I was hanging out with. I had a camera. I had a long lens hunter scope that I was connecting my phone to because we were all fenced off from the Capitol. So I was like zooming in, trying to get as close to the Capitol as I could. That was when the fence was up, and some people like pulled up in a white Suburban, or it was a black Suburban, of course. And they're like questioning me, and I'm just like, oh, I'm here. And they looked over at the servicemen, the National Guardsmen. They were there. I asked them if it was okay that I was shooting the video through before these 2 guys showed up. And they're like, yeah, it's okay. So when they came up to me, they're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I said, I got approval from that National Guardsman right there. And they looked at him, and he's like, oh yeah, it's cool. I'll talk to anybody. And I've got a great deal of respect for people in the military. So I'll yuck it up with them. And they gave me a lot of access that most people didn't have because they were just cool. I was cool to them. If you show respect to somebody that's in an official place, like a police officer pulls you over, you're most likely not going to go to jail. Actually, you probably won't go to jail. You'll just get a ticket. But if you act out, we've all seen the videos. No. I'm not going to get into all the stuff they say. I don't want to do any stereotypes. But don't act out. Just show respect to the police officer, and usually they'll show respect to you. Don't get me wrong. There's some police officers that are just power hungry, and they abuse that. But it's a very small percentage. It's not what the media would lead you to believe. So the GT350, see, I'm actually remembering things. Oh, I've got 8 minutes left. The GT350, Carroll Shelby created the GT350 and the GT500. The GT350, it's not about the engine type because they had 289s in them. And I can't remember the 289 what it was called. That will come back to me. But what happened was Carroll Shelby was at the Santa Monica airport building these Mustangs, and the quality wasn't that good. He was just patching them together, but they sold. But he had a good heart, and he believed what he was doing. I love Carroll Shelby. I love his history with Ford and everything, with the race and everything. But it was 350 steps from his office to where they were making the Mustangs. So, and you guys can check me out on that. Go ahead and Google search it. You'll find out I'm telling you the truth again. That's where the GT350 came from, him walking 350 steps. GT500, they just thought it was a cool name, an upgrade, a bigger engine, better suspension, and they called it GT500. There. This is turning into a Ford Mustang tail end. I'm sure everybody's like fading out because we're supposed to be talking about CPAC. Sorry. Hey, Sharon. Thank you. It's good to be back. Veterans always. Amen. MustangMedic, the heart messes me up. The heart's right there, right? I'm hitting it right now. There you go. And it's in the way of the view of the bottom post. It gets on my nerves. They got to redesign that. Oh, Mustang, you know your info. Thank you, Roger. I appreciate that. I appreciate you recognizing that. When people sit there and go, hey, I really appreciate you reporting the truth, I'm just like, there's people out there that understand I'm telling the truth. Some people have said, whenever you're talking about the truth all the time, you can't trust them. I'm like, you can't win for losing, All right. All right, I got 4 minutes. Guys, give me one last question, and then I'm going to cut it because I am sticking to the 1 hour mark on these. And the live streams are the most popular videos. I mean, I'm always surprised by that. Let me know why you think they are. It's all scripted movie, LOL. Yeah, Sharon, it is an all scripted movie. There's no question about it. I mean, the amount of fakeness that's going on right now, because we're in the internet age, is just astounding. It's not, the mainstream media is always fake news, and we agree. We've always known it's been fake news. I mean, Fox leans and is one-sided one way. MSNBC has just gone into fantasy land. CNN is yeah, we are the propaganda arm of the Democratic Party. It's it can't get more obvious than that. And again, the interview was more proof of that. Roger and Sharon are bonding over there. All right, well, I think we're going to close. In short, and which is what is key, is that we talk to people, we take risks of getting rejected because of what we believe. It's never been more important now than ever that we speak out. We cannot be in fear. And some have more risks than others. Like Elon Musk, he's got I guess he's got 20 billion or something. So it's a little bit easier for him to be like he is, which I love. But when you're making a lot less and you're weekly hoping you've got money for food, it's risky. It's even more risky. But I believe that God will reward that risk, because if we stay quiet and we don't speak out, then I don't even want to say it, but we deserve what we get. And we don't want that. We have to talk to people. We've got to share videos like this. If you believe me, some might not believe me, but if you know somebody's speaking the truth and they've been consistent, they need to be shared. Not just this channel, but any channel of somebody that's gone through a long time period of being straight and not deceiving. If somebody's lying to you and you catch them lying to you online, it's like a cheating wife. They're lying a lot more than what you know, and you're being deceived, and you don't need that in your life. A lot of things are a distraction, and we can't be distracted anymore. We have to focus on the truth. I know I'm punching the truth a lot, but it's just so needed, and it's so rare nowadays. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the fact that you spent this much time with me today on this video. There'll be lots of views. They usually are after the fact, which I appreciate. Anybody that visits and wants to watch this. There's always fall off. People got things to do in their lives. I've gone on live streams, been there for 5 minutes and gotten off. That happens a lot. But the fact that you visited, I'm very grateful. And the fact that if you're still watching this after it started, God bless you. Thank you so much for your interest in what we're doing. We are all in this together. It's not about me. It's about the message. And if we continue to forge forward, if we share the videos that we know are true, make sure they're true, we're going to be able to have social change. That's on my heart. God put it on my heart that this has to happen. It got me out of bed. It got me back on video to do this. And I believe that what's true is that God is motivating me to do this. I'm not selling my Christianity. You see people wearing a cross that's you can't see mine. It's hidden behind the microphone, but they're making sure they make sure you see the cross. I'm a Christian. Trust me. Trust me. I believe that there's only 97%. And there's 97% that are deceived that think they're Christians, and there's 3% that are remnant. And they're the people that are like, yeah, Jesus Christ is my Lord. He's listening to every word I'm saying. I'm held accountable by the Holy Spirit. God the Father is looking over everything. I'm very careful about how I share my faith because people will get turned off. Even when I was depressed and a Christian, it would upset me to watch somebody that's joyful in the Lord, because it's like, how can you be joyful? I'm depressed. Da, da, da. Depression is very selfish. It is a selfish thing, and it is chemically induced in people that get trapped in it. And I can talk about that later. Or you can go to Isolation Kills channel, which is the link is in the website, realmustangmedic.com at the very bottom of the homepage, which is very easy to navigate. There's a button that says, "Are you depressed?" And I did a number of videos years ago. It's got like 1,000 subscribers years ago of techniques of how I learned how to get out of depression, and they're very simple steps. And I recommend it if you're struggling with depression. I've been told by a few people that it's really helped out their children and everything watching those videos. And I told them, if it helped one person, it was worthwhile, because it ain't no joke. And a lot of people are dealing with depression now ever since the isolation of the jab, which was all planned, the whole deal. We can talk about that later. You got to be careful on that subject in this format. But I haven't done any independent videos. I've been basically sharing links. One, because we need the views on YouTube. It's very important. Hopefully it will support me before June, or I'm not sure what's going to happen. But again, I have to trust in Him. And if you don't know God and you look at it as all foolishness, I'm going to close with this. I invite you to, for 1 week, I know you're looking at some guy with a cowboy hat with a computer behind him, talking. But if you take this seriously, you might be able to find faith. For 1 week, every day, whenever you want to do it, whatever's a good alone time, do a 1-minute prayer to a God you don't know, and challenge Him, which is kind of funny. But, we're all in relationship with God in our own ways. But if you don't believe, just do a prayer 1 minute a day for 7 days, challenging Him to show you that He's real. For me, at 30 years old, that worked. I started seeing things that I couldn't deny that were happening. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't answer every prayer, but in the early days, when you're a Christian, He can really be active. He's active with people that have been Christians for a long time. But being a new Christian, it's a ride. This is William Wieting from MustangMedic. I appreciate you guys being here. I didn't answer a lot of questions. I hope that this was enjoyable to you. We want to keep creating new content, and we're going to do a video every day. We're working on getting them in the queue. There's a membership button underneath this video. You can join as a member. You support us by having a monthly payment. I think it's like $30 or something, and then there's a plan that's like $5 or something. But you will be involved in Zoom calls with us, discussing what subjects we should cover. You kind of you're a team member. We're all team members, don't get me wrong, but we do more stuff with the people that join as a membership. And we just set that up, and hopefully you'll be interested in that. Spotify. Okay. Just started a new account. I think it's got 10 people on it. I understand what it feels like to start channels. I forgot, because I've had so many views before, and with the whole Mustang thing, we got about 90,000 a month. So I got used to that. So starting a new account like Spotify is like getting a boulder moving. You're pushing on it really hard, and it doesn't seem to be moving yet. And then when the boulder starts rolling, then everything gets rolling. So please go to Spotify. Tell your friends to go to Spotify, and let's get at least 200 people on there. You can do it. If you don't have a Spotify account, you can go to the link. The Spotify link is in realmustangmedic.com. You can join. It doesn't cost you anything, and just follow us there. Because if we can get to 200, then there's a chance that people will share it, because they'll find out that we're actually on there. X is cranking. Again, I do different posts on different formats, so it's not just like a repeat. You're not repeating by following there. Rumble's a little tough to communicate with, but I'm still supporting Rumble. There's a lot of people want me on Rumble. No matter how many views you get like $5 a month. Rumble is not set up to support at this moment that I can tell is not set up to support people that are influencers that are trying to do it full time. I think it's a hobby on Rumble. If I'm wrong, Rumble, don't get upset. Prove me wrong, please. Locals, Facebook. I've got a new Facebook account, new Instagram account. They're also small numbers because they're new accounts, but they're growing. Telegram is growing too. Ever since X took off, it's feeding into Telegram. Mostly because the videos have all those banners underneath, making people aware of the different accounts. The chat room's very active. Good people on it. There's not a lot of hate. If there is hate, I'm going to say it. It's going to sound like big tech, but if you're a hater and you're on Telegram, your account's going to go bye. You can create a new account. We'll find you out, and we're going to go bye-bye. And I know I sound like big tech that way. I've been criticized for that, but I'm not going to support hate. I'm just not going to do it. If you're attacking other people on one of our formats, we're not gonna put up with it anymore. I used to let everybody do free speech and just completely drag me through the coals, and everybody would get upset with me that I'm doing nothing. And my point of view is I'm protecting the people that care enough to be on this format. It's not about free speech. It's about protection of people that care, want to get together to find out the truth. So it's called MustangMedic Digital Soldiers on Telegram, and there's also a channel called MustangMedic. And I check that almost every night too, and communicate and share links that are posted with our group, our chat group. And there's also a number of people that support me and, keeping an eye on what's going on, because I can't do it all. You know what I mean? What did Hillary Clinton say? It takes a village. Oh, I just quoted Hillary Clinton. That's a whole nother subject matter. And she's starting to pop up too. Okay. This is William Wieting, appreciating you for being here. God bless you. The next live stream, right now at the moment, our schedule is 2 live streams every Saturday. Keeps us busy, but I'm glad to be here. And it's going to be, I guess we'll do it at the same times, 10 a.m. No, was it 10:30? Mary, I always mess this up. You'll see the times. I'll set them up 2 weeks previous so you guys can follow. We're still a small, intimate group, which is cool. It's cool. I appreciate it. Never hate small beginnings, as they say. And I want you guys to have a great rest of your weekend. Look for that video. It's going to come up on Sunday, probably around 5 p.m. Mountain Time, about it's going to be about a CPAC interview and watching out for rhinos. And know that you're appreciated. God bless you, and good night.